Cuteness levels. They're over 9,000, Red.
Which levels?
The cuteness levels. I love the
you know
cheapy
what?
art style.
I'm going to come in and say I wish they were a little bit more baby and a little bit less cheapy. You know, like that was something when I saw it, I was like, they don't really look like children. They just kind of look like pop figures of themselves.
Here's a
Nendroids.
Nendroid.
Yeah, Nendroids of themselves. That's what it is. I do wish they looked a little more baby. Like, and I also wish Goku got his tail back.
Yeah, I gotta say, I kind of wish. But at the same time, like, that tail's been gone in canon for so long at this point.
I miss it!
You know what I miss? Yajirobe. Bring back my boy.
I miss my wife tails. Where is Yajirobe? I was I thought about him when we saw Korin on the tower, and I was like, weren't these two like gay and like fucking each other? They had some sort of gay relationship on this tower, growing beans together. My knowledge of Dragon Ball is very hazy, and to the point where like the things that were set up in the abridged and the actual canon are constantly mixing up in my head. Like I always forget that Popo isn't actually secretly really, really powerful. Like I always forget about that. I'm like, Popo, why didn't you stop him?
Baby. But also he has horns.
Popo is
demon.
Very cute. I need more Popo lore. Like I'm sure it's out there somewhere. What the fuck is Popo's deal? Do you know? Do you know?
I do not know. I do not know. Comments, let us know Popo's lore in the comments.
Someone's got to know Popo's lore. But please, lead the conversation. You're the Dragon Ball guy. I'm just kind of here. I watched it, and I was like, yeah, it was kind of fun, I guess. It's certainly entertaining. Like, here, you start, and then I'll give you my takes.
Sparking Zero reinvigorated my love for Dragon Ball.
The game is excellent.
95% of the fucking population, right? So I started rewatching OG Dragon Ball. I'm about halfway through that. I have not watched Dragon Ball in probably like 5 years, however long it's been since Super wrapped. I have been reading the manga.
The Super manga?
Yes, and I desperately wanted that to be animated, and I was kind of on the fence, like a lot of people, about this coming out. Like, I want the Granola arc, because the Granola arc is just fucking insane. Like, literally, the comments will be like, yeah, I want the Granola arc animated so badly. Because,
I love that
the dude fuses into the planet, and then he's so fucking broken.
That does kind of sound cool.
Like, Dragon Ball at its core is power fantasy.
Yeah, it's like Superman for Japan, basically, right? And it's always, I don't know. It's hard to say, because when did it become that? Because Dragon Ball originally was just kind of like, it felt like a silly little adventure. And then at some point, he got swept into this, like, more powerful.
Generic
more powerful.
Shonen, yeah.
And I'm not saying it was bad. I mean, like this, the characters were still lovable. The fights were still fun. There's a reason it was so popular, right? There's a bunch of stories that try to do the generic power creep, you know, shonen, but like Dragon Ball, it's got this like I mean, kind of, yeah.
I kill you with the power of friendship and power creep.
There were things I remember enjoying certain things about Fairy Tail. Like I liked the concept of like I eat the fire and it's a different a breath that I have or something. I don't remember. It's been a long time.
Eating Escanor will be fucking broken as shit, and I'm sure Death Battle has done that or will do that at some point in time.
Is Death Battle back officially?
Yes, it's had 2 episodes.
So we're getting Ruby Maka, right? Is it happening?
It did reach that goal.
Oh, so ready.
I only know this because Tyler has been talking about it in the Discord server. I just genuinely do not give a shit. And I think a lot of my issues with that does come from the Dragon Ball community, right? And I'm going to air a little bit of a grievance here before I get into like what I absolutely love about, you know, this current era of Dragon Ball and honoring Toriyama's legacy. If it wasn't for the power scaling community, I would give more of a fuck about Dragon Ball to the point where like everybody thinks Goku can beat everyone.
Well, yeah, I mean,
that's been my issue.
Something that I noticed about this show, because I just like literally just recently watched like all 4 episodes, is like I looked over to Allie and I was like, it's funny how every time Goku is turned into a kid, he remembers how to fight interestingly. You know, like he gets his fucking power pole back. I think my favorite fight in the whole show so far has been the one where he's trying to eat the burgers and then he keeps getting interrupted. And so like he's eating the burgers and then he's like using like the plates to like He like cymbal claps fucking a motherfucker with the plates or it's so good.
I love that, and I love what they set up in episode 4.
Which is what that they're gonna get the Dragon
they're
Balls.
gonna fight well, not just that they're going to get the Dragon Balls, but like they're going against like the military police here of the Demon King.
Oh, you mean right? Because he like fucked them all up because they were stealing lifespan. That was interesting. The lifespan stealing lava lamp looking thing.
It is literally a fucking lava lamp you find in the bastards. I love shit like that. Like, that's what makes Dragon Ball so interesting. I don't give two shits about whose dick measuring contest of beams is more powerful.
Well, that's the difference between someone who enjoys it. I don't know. I guess that's the difference between a Dragon Ball fan and a Dragon Ball Z fan, right? It's like, how autistic are you? How sweaty are you? Do you go to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch WWE pay-per-views?
I unironically did that a couple of
I did too, and I remembered. I was here I am as a middle schooler, and I looked around, and it was all severely autistic people, and I was like, oh man, like I'm autistic, but I'm like 50% autistic. I looked around and it was like people that like definitely hadn't bathed before they came here, and I was like, oh no, I'm in the wrong crowd.
No, you can smell the sweat on their underwear.
I was at the fun fact. You know the Royal Rumble where John Cena returned, like after like years of not. You remember he came out as like number 30.
Yeah,
I was at Buffalo Wild Wings for that one.
And now I just have a Peacock membership.
Yeah, it's a lot easier now. Back then, it was hard to get. I didn't really understand how to get pay-per-views back then. I was like, how does it work? Like, we just had normal ass cable. There was no smart TV. So I was like, I didn't even bother. I was just like, Mom, can you just take me to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch the Royal Rumble, please?
And she's like, do you not know how to do it?
No, she didn't know how to do it. She's my boomer ass mom.
I forget your mom's almost as old as mine.
Yeah.
Not really.
Well, no, I mean, they
not
didn't
really,
have...
but still.
She was like 30 when she had me.
Yeah, mine was like 40 when she had me, so a little bit younger. But like, yeah, it's still funny to me. But like, for me, like, I love Super's manga because it gets more into the super cerebral stuff with a lot of the ultra ego shit and everything like that.
Well, yeah, interesting concepts, right? Like, yeah, because that's kind of what I don't know. Like, and I'll give it to Toriyama on this, right? Like, Frieza and Cell, it felt just like power scaling, getting more powerful, fighting more powerful things. Although, to be fair, the lead up to Cell was cool. The time travel stuff, like, that was all cool, right? But then, like, the Boo Saga had some real interesting concepts, like the fusing earrings, the turn the motherfucker into chocolate, the like, Mr. Satan friendship with the Fat Boo, and, like, so, like, that's the kind of stuff that's cool about Dragon Ball, and like you know, like not. And I think people
now we have Kid Fat Boo, and he's so adorable, and I want to protect him. Right. And I know he would just murder me.
And I'm happy that there's cool concepts, kind of coming back here, right? I feel because like my issue, what I kind of saw from stuff like Resurrection of F and stuff, it felt to me like it was more just like power scale wanking for those types of fans. I didn't watch it, to be fair, but like I assumed that was kind of what it was going to be. But like what I'm seeing from this, and because like let's like full honesty, I wouldn't have watched this if it wasn't for Vex wanting to, you know, review it. So I thank you for getting me to watch it. But what I'm noticing the most that I'm enjoying is the world building. They're really putting a lot of effort into world building. I like the bugs in the shop that do different things, and they're setting up like, oh, at some point we're gonna fuse, at some point we're gonna, you know, do this.
And we
this,
might
that.
have a triple fusion if you paid attention to that too.
Yes, that'll be interesting. So like fusing's always been really cool. And then like the fucking wind or like the plant seed that like launched them, that like the flower seed or whatever the fuck, that was really cool. Lots of cool concepts. Yeah, so that's what I've been enjoying the most. Just kind of like, I mean, I love any anime or any story where it's like, let's travel into a new world and learn how its like culture works. So that's been fun.
For me, what got me into it is like I had a couple friends that were like OG Dragon Ball fans, and they were talking about how like it was, you know, returning to form for that and having a little bit of like that GTification of like turning back into the kids.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I knew that they were turning back into kids and everything. And then like Sparking Zero came out, and I'm like, well, you know what? I just want to go back and rewatch this. And I remember why I loved OG Dragon Ball as like a teenager, right? And when I watched the first episode, I'm like,
sorry, my TikTok went off on accident. Continue.
yeah, okay. I was watching like the first episode. I'm like, let me give it one more. And then I was going to scrap the video idea if I didn't like episode 2. And then they started like diving more and more into like the lore of the demon realm.
Yeah, Daima had an issue. That first episode was like too much yapping from those dudes. Like I don't think it had a good start because I was just sitting there like, is this what people are talking about? It's just like fucking two dudes yapping, like watching Dragon Ball Z.
Right, yeah, I'm just like, okay, well, it could be trying to drag new fans into the series, kind of giving like a recap, because it's been like 30, 40 years since Dragon Ball has been here. And I'm like, I get it, you know, if they brought One Piece out, or like a One Piece Kai or something out today, they would do something like that. And ironically, they kind of are with the reboot, right?
Yeah.
But like, I don't figure they're going to slideshow it like that, even though that's kind of a cool concept that they did, where they're just watching like events and like pinpointing exactly where shit went fucky for them, right? I kind of like that. But then like Glorio shows up, I'm like, oh, I got my Shikamaru essentially. It's like I'm here, I don't give a shit, I'm just doing a job, and I love that type of character.
Yeah, he's been really interesting, and he's giving. How do I put this? I can't explain it, but my gaydar is going off a little.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, I didn't know if I was off the mark there, but like.
The dude's a little fruity, but like I kind of fuck with him, and I want to know more about him as a character.
I'm sure we will, yeah.
Yeah, he's giving me the vibe of it, like he's not 100% on their side.
There's definitely sussy shit, right? They're like, how do you know all this? And how did the... You know, at first I thought, and I was hoping that they were going to go in this direction, but like I was wondering if there was like some kind of like time dilation happening between the demon world and our world, because like, you know, to me it felt weird that he could like take power that quickly, you know, because like he turns them into babies, then he comes back, and then like instantly this guy's like, yeah, he's like ruling with an iron fist now. I'm like, that seemed quick. So what I was thinking at first was like, okay, what if like for us it's been like just a day, but for in the demon world it's been like 100 years, and he's like and so like I thought that this kid, or like he looks like a kid, I don't know how old he is, he looks young to me, it kind of reminds me of like Future Trunks, but like has a Kai, you know, Gloria or whatever the fuck his name is. And so like I thought that it was gonna be a Future Trunks situation where like he's like, yeah, I've been living under his regime for hundreds of years. and I thought that'd be a cool concept.
Like it would be a cool concept, but I don't think
so either. Yeah, because then we saw a picture of him and he's still that short-looking doofus.
And like, we don't know how like the demons age, or like the different versions of the demons and everything. So like that dude could be like 6 and be in power, or he could be like 6,000 and be in power, right? Because like we see old like Namekians here, and they're a demon. And we see like Supreme Kai, he's a demon, obviously. And Popo, he's technically a demon because he has the pointy ears and horns. So like we have different varieties, flavors of demons, like species, I guess you should say. And they all apparently belong to a different layer of the demon realm. And that's such a cool concept, you know, having like essentially a Halo like Ring World situation where like you have the different layers of shit going on, but at the same time, it seems like each version of them is like a different worker class too.
Oh yeah, it's pretty obvious like, once they started describing like the first, second, and third demon world, and how like they're separated by like this gate that didn't used to be there. And then like even before like he was like, oh, you know, you fancy types never even bothered to come down here. It's pretty obvious there's like a thinly veiled classism metaphor going on between these worlds. Yeah.
Like the writing in Dragon Ball has never been deep.
Oh
like,
yeah.
We can skip that.
And I have no problem with that, obviously. Something I did notice though was there's like what was I gonna say? It's very like obvious shit out for like 3-year-olds sometimes vibes, because like Goku, I take a shot every time Goku mentions that the air is heavy and he feels weaker. I mean, my God, it's like to me it felt like people are like, you know. Or that those lines were
for TikTokification of attention spans, right? Like,
I'm sure that's part of that. The way I read it was like, we have to keep reminding these people that like want Goku to be able to like explode a planet in one punch. Like he's weak right now because of XYZ. Like when characters get this powerful, it genuinely feels like they have to keep explaining
restriction.
Exactly. Like that's probably the reason why this had to be, because otherwise like,
and with no prep time.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, no, I mean, you get this sometimes even in, like, One Piece, where, like, a character will be like, I'm not as strong as I used to be, and then he'll blow up a fucking island, and it's like, it's,
Wow, gee willikers, Luffy. I just did that.
I was thinking of, like, how, like, old people in One Piece will always be like, I'm past my prime, and then they'll proceed to, like, explode an island with a punch. That's what Garp literally does that. Like, I don't know if you're caught up yet, but, like, Garp like fucking nukes an island with a punch, and he's like, yeah.
It's just like that fucking island. And I'm just like, wow, if that's past your prime, what the fuck?
I mean, you know, we did get a little glimpse of what Garp was like in his prime, because there was that flashback in Dressrosa where he like split he split an entire ice continent with like a punch.
Like, could you imagine if they explored that a little bit more and we got to see more of that shit? Like, I genuinely hope that they do like little novels of like these.
I would love, dude. You could do novels forever on like side One Piece characters, like literally,
right?
yeah. Like you could just never ending.
Like I know
novels.
Oda has said like he doesn't want to do like a One Piece Shippuden.
Yeah, no sequel One Piece manga, but I feel like a novel would be fine.
Yeah, like, oh, here's Garp's novel, here's Blackbeard's novel, you know,
that'd be
like
sick.
shit like that.
But yeah, back to
And
DAIMA, or yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so like we have the idea of like a triple fusion coming in, and I genuinely, I know we're going to get a Vegeta or a Vegito, you know, or a Gogeta fusion because fan service.
Let's get some freak
like,
fusions. Yeah.
Yeah, like give me Piccolo fused with Vegeta and fucking.
Yeah. Can
Give me
Namex
some
fuse
freak
with?
vibe.
Can fusions be inter-race? Is that allowed? Genuine question. I don't know.
I don't know.
Have we ever seen it?
We have not in canon.
Wow.
I mean, there's an infinite amount of fan bullshit out there of what it would look like, and I kind of fuck with it. But like, give me Supreme Kai, Vegeta, and fucking Piccolo. Give me some freak bullshit. I don't
bullshit.
care.
Yeah.
This is Dragon Ball. This is, you could go anywhere with this shit, and that's what I love about this franchise so much, and that's what I'm realizing as I go back through it. Like, yes, my brain has moved past the need for like constant beam struggles and, you know, needless plot armor and all that shit, but like DAIMA has recaptured such a fucking, you know, I guess it's just nostalgia has hit in for shit, because like I'm looking at like when we were Young Fest and that was so much fun, and you know, going back to, you know, revisiting, like a couple weeks ago I was at our local venue and I was just watching one of the bands I grew up with like live perform a song that I definitely gave my computer like digital aids downloading as a teenager, and I'm like, yeah, yes, they fucking played it. You know, I bought a shirt.
I don't think it's all nostalgia. You know, I feel like I personally always really enjoy anime that just have this like adventure element, right? Like we're going to a new world, and we're, you know, and like that was kind of, in my opinion, like what made Dragon Ball so fun. It was like this, like, oh, there's 7 things we gotta find, and like they could be anywhere on the planet. And then of course they kind of slowly took out the that element of Dragon Ball, the idea of like finding them, because it became so easy. They would just do it off screen, and like to that point we see this guy just like instantly like suck them all to him in like the first episode, you know. And like it's
crazy.
Yeah. Good.
It's crazy. Like we went from that, you know, like adventure of the week, like, oh, we're trying to find the Dragon Ball that was my grandpa's, right, to like, oh, instantly we're off screening it, like you said, to this. But at the same time, like, obviously, like, the technology in the universe improved as Bulma built up, like...
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense in universe why they were able to, but it, like, narratively, it was a shame to kind of, like, lose that element. They just became, like, anyone can die, and then they're not actually dead, you know?
Right, and, like, even, like, the first episode of DAIMA kind of poke fun at that, like, yeah, the 3 wishes shit, that's for regular customers.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, is that like an established lore thing, or is that just like Shenron fucking with them?
That was Shenron fucking with them, but it could be like lore now. Like, that's the thing with Dragon Ball. Like, it's like whatever Toriyama wants it to be, and I kind of fuck with that in a way. Like, he gets sensed possibly the evil inside Goma.
Mm,
And he's like, yeah, I don't want to fucking enable your bullshit. So
yeah.
I'll give you the one wish since you got the Dragon Balls, even though like you just flip them in here because of this Namekian over here just is a cunt. And it wants to be younger or live longer.
He should have just,
Uh,
you know what Shenron should have said? Because I was wondering if this was going to be mentioned, but like, you know, it's supposed to be, what is it, like a year until the Dragon Balls can be used again after
yep.
like when they, so like I thought I thought when they woke him up he was going to be like, fuck, I'm fucking sleeping, like what the hell, you know, like I think
How did you get me back this soon?
he should have been like, you know why you got one wish? Because you fucking woke me up too early, dipshits. Now leave me the goddamn fuck alone.
Yeah. Let me go back to sleep. It is 2:00 in the morning.
In Dragon Realm.
You know,
Wow.
obviously the sky is bright as shit, and the fucking like,
Well,
but like I love Shenron's like sass there because like it kind of builds this narrative of like because I trust these people in a way because they are good and pure of heart. Which
yeah,
is
they've
kind of
been
like
good
whole
with the
message.
wishes, and they didn't ask me for panties like that one guy.
Oolong over here,
Yeah,
like, give me the sexiest silky panties.
excellent.
Uh, we're one episode away from fucking Bulma asking for a BBL.
PBL? What does that mean?
Brazilian butt lift.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's funny
I,
you mentioned that. Fucking this serious ass situation, and like Bulma instantly like, my skin is so young now, and I'm like, bro, Bulma would take the adrenochrome in a fucking heartbeat, bro. Bulma would fucking blend up babies to look younger.
oh, I could just make another Trunks.
God, yeah, it has to be my baby for DNA sharing reasons. Yes.
Like that's my blood bag over there, not my son, my blood bag.
Lord.
Yeah. If you don't understand that reference, you're not online enough, and thank Christ for that.
Oh wow.
I hope the fuck you understand that.
I figured. I feel like I don't know. Is that from a specific show or something? Like, what is it?
That is the billionaire that's using his son to make himself look younger.
Is that from like
Because
a show or?
no, like that is literally like he's having blood transfusions from his kid
Oh
to
God.
make him look younger. Yeah.
How's this legal?
He has because it's in a fucking another country. It's not in America where we have like some form of medical regulations.
Yeah, I mean, I could believe it. There's like weird shit. Billionaires, like that's the one
Yeah.
thing that they're used to being able to buy everything. So they when you found that like the one thing you can't buy, which is the ability to escape death, they get a little bit cuckoo.
Yeah. Well, this one just wants to look younger forever. He's like 65 and he looks like he's 21, and it's disturbing as fuck.
Just to clarify, I because you know sometimes Vex be spouting crazy shit. I have not heard of this, so this very well could be some crazy Alex Jones shit. I would need to see sources. I've never heard of this. I could believe it though.
I'll send you something.
This sounds like
afterwards.
tabloid shit. It sounds like you know it'd be in the
Oh
fucking.
no! Like when I saw it, I'm like, this has to be bullshit. And no, it's
God.
it's sourced, and
Yeah.
I'm like,
It'd
what
be
the
in the
fuck?
magazine. It'd be like the third article in a magazine with
But
like
the-
werewolf boy
the
on the
Sun
cover.
News.
Yeah.
That boy?
Yeah, exactly.
Sounded really pleasant.
The type of
Well,
shit
first of all,
fucking
you're in Appalachia, so I kind of believe it.
the type of shit fucking Dib from Invader Zim would be reading.
No, like,
Or actually,
I didn't
more
believe it.
poignant reference, the type of shit Okaroon would be reading from Don to Don.
oh god.
Yeah.
When are we doing Don to Don reviews?
Well, so once the anime's done, if I'm still vibing with it, I'll binge the manga.
There's like 6 episodes left, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I just watched episode 5, so that was the one where they're just kind of being like romantic with each other the whole time. You know, they're like, oh, they're trying to find each other, like, where are they? And they like clunk teeth, and then they think that they're kissing.
So it's like right before the Nessie shit.
Yeah, so the next all I know is that the next episode's gonna be with the pink haired girl, and like I know I remember she has like a power, but I don't. It's been too long. I don't remember what her deal is.
Yeah. So like you're close to like where we had stopped reading.
I
it at the
stopped
same
reading
time.
it like right after that underwater fight where like the school was underwater for some reason in like a different dimension. I don't remember. You remember what I'm talking about? Like she's on his back and they're
Yeah.
swimming, and then they like defeat the thing, and then they come out of the dimension, and then they're like on top of each other naked in the school. Like that's where I stopped.
Oh yeah. So like there's a fucking there's a point right during that arc where like he ended up naked and that's where you stopped.
Yeah, it was
reading
around that, and not because I didn't like it or anything. I just you ever just stop reading, like, oh, I'll read more in like a week, and then you just forget to, and then it's been 3 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm sending you the article right now.
I just
Why?
it wasn't to like shit on you. It was just like in case that like, I always think about like comments being like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? That was clearly proven fake.
Yeah, it's a tech CEO. By the way, that's why I knew about it.
What country?
It's a tech CEO.
What country?
That was doing it. Jesus Christ. He is technically from the U.S.
Right, but like you
but
said, it
he's
was a
doing
different
it
country.
overseas. It was started in Germany originally, and now he's doing it all over because he's got enough money to fucking have a blood bank.
But like, is his son consenting to this?
Yes, that's the disturbing part.
Yeah, weird. I mean, I guess you do make more blood, like, so I guess it's very weird. Okay, cool. Anyway.
Yeah. Like I got sources.
Yeah, no, I'm here. Where did you send it? Discord
Facebook.
or Discord? Let me see.
Facebook.
Sorry, you're cutting off every once in a while. That hotel Wi-Fi hitting.
Yeah.
Okay.
A Fortune fucking article too, which is but yeah, that disturbed the ever loving shit out of me. But like, it's the same logic as like donating blood. Like, obviously, you fucking get it back, but still.
Yeah.
Why would you consent?
It's just kind of creepy. Like I don't even like signing up for like life insurance because I know that like because it makes me think about the fact that I'm gonna die. So like I wouldn't even want to, you know what I mean? Like I'd get the heebie-jeebies definitely from that.
Yeah, no, like same. But then at the same time, I'm like, I know who my fucking money goes to if I have any money left after burying my ass.
I would now because I have Allie, but like I remember my mom was trying to get me to and make her my beneficiary. I was like, "Fuck you, bitch! What are you gonna do? Kill me?" Yeah, I was like, "What are you gonna do? Kill me?" Because now you got
it's supposed to be the other way around.
Yeah, now you got vested
interest.
It's supposed to
be the other way around. Like, yeah, the kid's the beneficiary for your shit, not you being the beneficiary for the kid. What the fuck? Mom's over there putting cyanide in your steak.
Exactly. Because see, I'd be too paranoid, bro. I'd be like, now that you know you're getting like 100K if I die, you're gonna fucking put some shit in my shit.
You want to do shit? It might pay your mortgage for a little bit too. This day and age.
Hell yeah.
But like what got me is like the thinly veiled class system shit. But at the same time, like I genuinely like where I'm at now in the OG Dragon Ball, right, is like the beginning of the Red Ribbon Army stuff, where like the fucking ninja just showed up, Murasaki. We just met Android 8 and everything, which is ironically like thinking back to things like that's probably why Goku doesn't like to kill his enemies, right? You know, is because Android 8 was such a gentle giant. It's so like I'm watching him like knock down Muscle Tower. That's where I kind of stopped at for the day. And that was like 2 days ago because I've been prepping for
That's a fun arc too.
Stuff.
I remember really liking that one.
It was so cool. Like
it's a really good setup. Like I love the idea of like that kind of simple setup of like, all right, there's this tower, and as you go up, people are gonna get stronger, right? If I remember correctly.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a fun setup.
Everybody was like significantly stronger as he went up the tower, and like Android 8 was supposed to be like this big bad, but he's just like fucking gentle giant, and you just watch him fucking knock down the tower that kind of imprisoned him. And you see Goku kind of learn like you don't have to kill your enemies. There's definitely enemies he should have fucking killed.
Yeah.
But like he never did.
Well, that was the fame, right? Because he lets Vegeta go at the end of the Saiyan saga, and they're like, "You're insane, Goku," and then he was kind of right, I guess, because he ended up helping save the planet in the future.
Of like his best friend, and he's married to like the girl that he touched her coochie in the first episode of Dragon Ball.
Hey man, I got nothing to say. I don't know what else. I was gonna say something, but there's nothing appropriate to say. They were both.
Way to defend that shit.
They were both underage, but like in different severities.
Exactly. And then like you see her flashing fucking Master Roshi. I'm like, some of this aged really badly.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. I mean I guess like there must have been a point where like the idea of like an old man pervert was just like, oh, you lovable scamp. It's crazy to think about.
Yeah, like it was the mid '80s apparently.
Yeah, dude. Take me back to the mid '80s. I'm just kidding. Yeah, in the mid 80s.
Okay, boomer.
In the mid 80s, you can just be a fucking old man and be like, can I touch your daughter's panties? And they're like, oh, you. Of course you can. I love living in the mid 80s.
Who's like 60 years old today, dating a 16-year-old, and I want to vomit when I found that out.
Who?
Anthony Kiedis, the fucking bassist from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, is dating like a 16, 17-year-old.
Bro, you know, that's a great point. That I was kind of kidding, but there definitely was a little bit more of like a normalization of that, because there's like so many rock songs that are like, I like them younger. You ever hear like you go back and you like read the fucking lyrics, and it's like, I can't remember an exact example, but it's just like, you know,
little girls,
or like, you know, she ain't 18. Like, there's a bunch of songs like that. It's like, what the fuck?
I'm like, oh Lord, have mercy.
Someone give me
the
like
entire pop punk scene.
I need like a supercut of every fucking weird pedo song that exists.
Well, let me tell you, it's this wonderful thing called Warped Tour, and it's coming back, and I'm just dreading the fact that like it'll just be full of enablers and fucking predators. But yeah, no, like it's very hard being in the music scene, man.
Yeah, but
there is such an interesting concept here for like where we go next, because like we have the foreshadowing for the fusions, we have the foreshadowing obviously that Vegeta and Piccolo and probably Bulma and the rest of the gang is going to come back, and obviously like my inner like OG Dragon Ball fan wants to see Yajirobe.
Yeah, me too.
Especially like watching him be so broken in Sparking Zero to the point where like he's the one character that's got nerfed.
We have also the setup of that one Kai couldn't give the other one the pin number, so that's gonna be a thing where they're gonna get all the way there and then be like, oh fuck, and then they're probably gonna like guess a number and then like be teleported to some other totally random place.
Yes, and like I love stuff like that where like obviously there's like a disconnect here, and we haven't seen that really in Dragon Ball so much as we have like things like One Piece, and we've seen things like that in fucking Black Clover recently. I love shit like that, dude. But like I want to dive deeper into the Demon Realms like lore so much, because like you can have such an interesting world building experience but it fall flat. Really expand on the lore too much. Obviously, like here, we're filling a gap somewhere between like the end of Z, and we're filling it before the beginning of Super. That's where this is supposed to fit in canon, and it fits nicely because you see, like, we don't have Oob yet showing up, so we're not to the very end of Z. And Oob shows up like right near the beginning of Super and like the actual timeline right at the end of Z.
It's insane if you to go back to those last couple chapters and now know that like in that little like skip of time all this shit has happened.
Exactly.
Oh
so like God. You have DAIMA, you have fucking Super, where like a world-ending consequences, and then like you just scale back your powers. Apparently,
I mean, I think it makes kind of sense, right? Like he wouldn't go Super Saiyan God at that fucking tournament, probably.
Yeah, I'm just gonna destroy the Earth here. If it was my fucking
Oob, my man, Oob. Are you ready to see? Remember when I fought you when you were like pink and shit? You thought Super Saiyan 3 was crazy. Check this out. Explodes the planet. Yeah, little punk ass bitch.
This is a hate crime now.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's so fucking crazy. Like that, it's essentially the span of like 4 months in real time too, which is what's even crazier, dude. Like
it was not 4 months. I think it was. I need to go back and double check. I don't think it was 4 months. Wasn't it a couple years?
It's not. It is like a couple years.
I gotta check. I'm going to the last chapter of Dragon Ball right now. Dragon Ball.
A couple of years. But like real time span is like 4 months between those.
No, I'm checking right now. You wrong. I can feel it. Okay, I just saw the chapter.
Something's wrong. I can feel it.
I hope you come back someday. See you I'm scrolling through the final chapter here. 10 years later, brother.
years.
Yeah, and so Hercule became the savior of humanity once again. Of course, 6 months later, the public's memories of Boo were erased, but people still remember that Hercule saved them from something. And then it says,
That's what I'm getting at.
and then it says, and 10 years later, and then that's where we are. And we see Gohan with fucking glasses, and yeah, the cast 10 years older. Yeah. And then so that's crazy. I mean, 10 years. Honestly, I wonder if he did that. He probably didn't. He wasn't thinking about that at the time, but like retroactively, like genius move to have a 10-year gap because there's so much shit you can fit in there.
Yeah, like think how long like Super takes place. Think how long this will probably take place. Like this will probably be like the equivalent of like a 2-month journey. Based on, like how short like that technically is right now. I think it's like 25 to like 30 episodes that we've had announced. Through the leaks, take what you will out of the leaks because they're never fucking accurate for Dragon Ball. But like if we have 30 episodes, about 2 cores of fucking content, 2-3 months worth of action leading right into Super, which obviously a lot of shit happens in Super. Leading that back into Dragon Ball, it's a genius time frame to like wrap that all into. But at the same time, like I genuinely would love to see this realm explored and kind of explain away a lot of like the lingering plot threads, because like this is obviously the last work of Toriyama, and I want him to be able to like tell the story that he wanted to tell and not have to have it built onto by like the rest of the fucking crew that actually picked up the slack. And that's kind of why like we haven't had any of the Super manga here recently, and why we haven't had any of the like Super manga adapted into the anime yet is because we don't really know where the time frame for like any of this is and where we want to like slot shit, or if we even want to animate it because of the rights situation, right? It's essentially an estate and Toyotaro, who actually is helping with the fucking Super manga, all kind of butting heads. And everybody wants to do right by the legacy of this man, but at the same time, like, we don't really know where that will ever stand or if it will ever come back. So I want him to be able to like tell the story he wants to tell here.
Did the Super manga actually stop? Like, is it on hiatus at the moment?
Kind of like how
did you hear me?
Was for a while.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you cut out.
So like, it's on hiatus right now as they figure out the
right, like what they're gonna do. Because was Toriyama still like writing Super?
He was helping with it, like directing it.
Yeah,
but like
kind of like what Kishimoto was doing with Boruto for a while.
Like, you know what, you're fucking things up. Let me step in. And realistically, it was just an ego thing because, you know, he had Samurai 8 and it failed miserably.
Yeah.
But like with Toriyama, it's like he was an assistant for it, and it's like I'll direct things, but I'm also working on Dragon Quest, and I'm working on this thing apparently. I don't have time to write another manga. Fuck that shit.
Are there lingering plot threads in Dragon Ball? I figure. I mean, we've explored it and milked every single teat, haven't we? I mean, at this point.
Yeah, at this point, like the only things that are lingering are like Ultra Ego, which will probably be explained in the finale for Super, and we'll explore like the demon realm and like, you know, all of these people's lore. I want him to be able to like tie the bow on what he set up here.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, I given how long production takes for anime, I have a feeling that like most of the writing, I bet like the writing was done because you know how long animation takes. I feel like he probably had finished writing it. Yeah.
It's one of those things where like I want the legacy to be intact for what the product is, and not have to have extra people stepping in and like filling in the plot threads.
Yeah.
Because for all intents and purposes, like what they're doing with Berserk is great, but it definitely has a different feel to it, you know.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they're writing the finale of it, but at the same time, you can definitely feel like the difference in the storytelling between like the team that, you know, Miura had at Studio Gaga and himself.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of, you know, want to not have that for Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I have a feeling Daima was probably, at least Daima was probably finished by him. Super, my assumption for the manga was that it was like mostly being written by like this guy, but like every once in a while, like Toriyama would like guiding hand it. So like I would hope that like given that this guy had like worked with him for so long, so closely, he's probably kind of got a vibe for where Toriyama would want to go with it. I'm sure they've had those conversations. Yeah.
Toyotaro was like a fan writer for a long time before he got picked up to do Super. So like he wrote some really ridiculous shit back in the day. So I'm hoping he doesn't go down the ridiculous path too much and keeps it like in the terms of like the Dragon Ball universe sanity, which in of itself is a whole different realm of sanity. But like it's going to be nice, and I would hope to get it animated at some point and have it like fully told throughout that side of things. And that's kind of where I'm at with Daima. I figure like the next few episodes are going to be this like war against the military police. Not like war. It's just going to be Goku running fucking rampant over them. I hope to explore a little bit more of Glorio because I really like his character so far.
I'm excited. I want to see Goku kind of get challenged. You know, he's kind of been breezing through for the most part.
Oh God, yeah.
And like, I'm excited to see. I assume at some point they're going to fight one of these things that are protecting the. Alexa just thought I was talking to her for some reason. I assume they're gonna fight these like Power Ranger villain looking motherfuckers that are protecting these Dragon Balls at some point. I'm excited to see that, you know, and they're all they've been knob slobbing those things like crazy. Like those are super powerful, so I mean that's exciting. And then like they also keep, you know, Chekhov's don't fall into the dark mist, you'll be fucking dead instantly if you do, so that'll inevitably happen at some point. And like, then one more Chekhov's Gohan, right? Because they mentioned Gohan's been fucking MIA, he's studying or something. I don't know. So we have no idea where the fuck Gohan is right now, and he should be a kid again now. And let's not forget, and I hope they take this into account, Gohan peaked when he was a kid. You remember that Gohan peaked when he was a teen, and then he like lost power. That was like established in the tournament that like he's not as powerful as he was when he fought Cell, because you know Chi-Chi took him away from all that. So like you could even have a situation where Gohan is actually like more powerful because he's young now, and which I think would be great.
Well, I mean, Goku got his beast form in the Super movie, right? So like we could go that realm of things, right? Because he already was trained under, you know, the Kais as in the Buu arc. So, and that still happened at this point. So he could have all of that power plus, you know, that latent power from before he was, you know, kind of neutered by Chi-Chi and dragging him into studying, which was like his goal for the Dragon Ball canon idiots. That was his goal.
His goal fucking imprisoned on or impressed on him by his fucking overbearing mom.
Right, but it's still his goal, as established by Toriyama, is to get away from the fighting.
Yeah, that's fair.
He was neutered by doing that. So
yeah, I mean, it depends on, I don't know. Like, I hope whatever he's doing is for his happiness. Because, like, I'll be honest, his whole life, it felt like he was just being, like, steered one direction by Goku, one direction by Chi-Chi, but I never got a vibe for what he actually wanted, you know?
Well, if he didn't like fighting, he wouldn't have done, like, the Great Saiyaman shit when you think about it, right?
He clearly, like, I think he likes helping people, but he doesn't like fighting in the same way that, like, Goku and Vegeta do, right?
Right.
Like, yeah.
He doesn't like the dick measuring of it, like, I'm stronger than you.
Well, you know, Saiyans have, like, this insatiable need to fight, which, you know, I mean, not to say Frieza did nothing wrong. But, like, man, Frieza kind of on point calling them monkeys if you think about it. Like,
I want to fuck the voice actor for Frieza.
That's out of pocket as fuck. No, I mean, but like, I just thought of this now, but like, I'll be honest, a race, like, because that's kind of like what like racists say in our world, where it's like, oh, they're just, this race is like more naturally aggressive, but like that's actually canon about fucking Saiyans, is that they're like naturally aggressive and love fighting. I'd genocide that planet. Are you kidding me? Fucking, that seems dangerous.
That's out of pocket as fuck to say that, but like, you're not wrong.
Bro, they fucking, if they naturally love fighting, what's to stop them from being like, all right, we fought everyone on our planet, let's start fucking conquesting. Oh wait, they were doing that, although under Frieza.
Right, but like, it's crazy here. But like, and it's kind of like the thing with Broly, like that is like if they were left unchecked, right?
Yeah, what if you had a fucking planet full of Brolys, dude? Just like angry, maladjusted Saiyans.
We call them conservatives.
Yeah. Oh my god, conservatives are Saiyans? Can they go Super Saiyan?
That's what we saw on January
I was
6th.
gonna say, can
Man.
I please get an edit of like a bunch of conservatives on Jan 6, like with the fucking like aura and like the hair as they're breaking through the windows?
Crazy that we went to the same place.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. It's
But
funny.
like, no, like it's fucking crazy. Like, as out of pocket as Frieza was, like he was right to an extent, and like I can't argue with like the logic of all of the all of everything that has been set up. Like, seeing it now on paper as like an adjusted adult instead of somebody that's like just dick sucking all of the power scaling shit as a teenager. Like, uh, if this was initially like Toriyama's goal with this franchise, like he did set something up masterfully, right? Because everything kind of falls into a place. Do I agree with everything? Absolutely not. But it is still like an impressive body of work that he's created here, and it has been the blueprint for Shonen for the last
I don't think
25, 30
all of
years.
these extra spin-offs were ever his goal. I think it just kind of happened that way because he got so popular, and then they're kind of like they go back and they retroactively be like, okay, how can we where in the timeline can we fit another adventure? You know, and they're gonna keep doing that to the end of fucking time, clearly.
Yeah, and that's gonna be the same with Naruto at this point because Naruto is like the modern day Dragon Ball, where like we have Boruto's sequel, like, and because like Twin Blue Vortex or whatever is like the Shippuden of Boruto, and I'm just over here like, you didn't need Boruto, you definitely didn't need this bullshit. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Twitter people that I was arguing with a week ago. None of this needed to happen. You can fucking fillet Kishimoto all you want.
But
We
I would
didn't
say
need
the
half
same
the
thing
shit.
about Dragon Ball. I'll be honest. Like, I mean, they're fine. They're not like bad. All these extra spin-offs, but it's like, oh my god, like,
Yeah, like I won't even say like we needed things like GT. I won't say that we needed things like fucking even like Super to an extent. Like obviously like there was room for like an epilogue OVA of like this is what happened after things and we didn't need like a fucking full series. But at least this shit makes sense to an extent instead of like I am writing myself into a corner and then writing myself out of a corner like Boruto was.
Yeah, I mean, I think
That
the best thing to do that you know is you kind of how do I want to word this? I see authors do this a lot where it's like they want to make something brand new and like do a brand new like kind of story and adventure, but because of the way that like money works, like big companies won't we don't want to take a chance on new things, so they'll use their IP to like make a new story. So like this feels like something
Hello
like
Warner Brothers.
yeah. So they'll do like let me think of an example. They'll do like a like how Craig McCracken is doing a Powerpuff Girls reboot, right? But not because he wanted to, but because he has to. But I hope that he takes the opportunity to like do a bunch of new wacky, like go a new direction with it that like no one expected, right? Like that's kind of the only way you can get like creative freedom these days. It feels is like to like okay, well I had a good IP, so I'll use that same IP, but I'll do some like new wacky shit with it. So that's kind of what feels like to me. Like Toriyama's just like fuck it. I like writing, so I'll just keep doing stuff with Goku, but like have him in like new situations that no one expected. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and to an extent, I definitely agree with that. It's the same way like Gennady Tarkovsky does things now.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's able to drag things through his name because he's so popular, but like at the same time, he has not been able to do the one thing that he's always wanted to do, and that's make more Symbiotic Titan. And so like he's talked about it through interviews. Like he would always love to revisit that universe, but it's just not popular enough because it was left so fucking open ended by the end of it. It only got like I think 13 episodes total. I could be wrong, but like it was left so open ended. It's the same way with things like Secret Saturdays and Generator Rex. Like those two projects were left kind of open ended, and those creators wanted to explore those universes more.
Infinity Train too.
Obviously, yeah, like obviously, like Man of Action ended up going and working with Marvel with like the Ultimate Spider-Man stuff because Cartoon Network kept cutting their stuff short, and we got the like Ben 10 reboot instead of like more Generator X, more of like the same universe of Ben 10, because like they wanted to focus more on toy sales too. Um, and it's like it's different logic between like East and West in that kind of way. Like obviously, like there was a period in time here where like we were more focused on like merchandising out our IP versus like how can we tell stories in the same universe and make more money
It's
like,
funny
come
that
on, man.
I feel like the era of like toys has kind of dried up too, because kids don't really want toys as much as they used to, because everything's like a fucking
Like all the toys are like geared towards our generation.
yeah. Because isn't that funny? Like toys became a generational thing because now at kids these days, why would you want a toy when you could fucking play with flashing colors on your iPad?
Yep. Look to Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Like literally, look to Fortnite. It is the new toy. Like you have all these characters, but also you have the IPs in there now. You have fucking Disney villains in there. I can crank 90s as Maleficent here and fucking hit the gritty as Captain. What the fuck else do I want as like a tier, you know, logically? But like
Yeah,
I'm
no, for
obviously
sure. I saw, dude, just in that same vein of like fuck them kids. I saw a fucking ring cam video recently of like a kid who it's like one of those like it's just a bowl of candy and it says like take one and he like pours the whole bowl into his bag and then flips off the camera and then leaves. The way I would fucking knock that kid out, I don't even care, bro. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Because
I was that kid.
yeah, no, well, but at that point, that is theft, right? Like you're on my property and you're stealing shit. Like oh, bro, like if you can't, you should not be trick or treating if you don't have basic fucking like politeness. God,
I was that kid, and I would also light a flaming bag of dog shit on that person's doorstep.
you should have got your ass. If you got your ass beat, you would have become a better person quick. See, now keep in mind, this is not me advocating for your parents to beat your ass. This is me advocating for random strangers to beat your ass. That's what you needed.
I honestly deserved it.
Yeah, no.
Looking back on shit, but
that's
like,
crazy.
I was a piece of shit. I was a piece of shit. Like,
oh man, yeah. I want to clarify because I don't want it to make it sound like I'm like pro kid beating. Only strangers. Random strangers should get to beat one child a year.
Anybody that works in retail should be able to punch one kid.
Yeah. I mean, like you're working at like a fucking restaurant and they just won't stop crying and you're sick of hearing it. Just like bam, real quick, and it's like, well, sorry, sir, there's nothing we can do.
One per day.
That was his one allotted child punch. Excellent.
You get to pull them up, It's like a punch card. You get to pull them up.
Yeah, like the fucking like when Stewie or like Brian got to punch Stewie and he kept like lording him over him in that one episode. You remember that? That's like a legendary fucking. And then he pushes him in front of like a bus.
It's like, and you can't say Stewie didn't deserve it either.
He did. He always does. Oh man.
But on that note, anything else?
Are we piecing? Let me think. Yeah, I mean, like for me, and sorry, it's like a kind of a low energy video. I'm just, God, my fucking stomach hurts bad today. But I hope I've managed to make it pretty good. Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, it's a fun episode.
No, that's good.
Obviously, like we can finish this up when DAIMA ends and see where we feel.
I'm excited. I mean, I'm definitely gonna keep watching it. And Allie enjoyed it because she's a big fan of babies. So like conceptually, of course, she doesn't want to have a baby, but they are cute to her.
I'm just picturing you as a parent.
Yeah, never.
Communist manifesto in your kid's hand.
That's a little much. Do not prescribe these things to me. I just want healthcare.
I just want healthcare. Literally. I want my conceptual child to have healthcare after I die.
No, I mean genuinely, I just can't have a kid because I can barely take care of myself. I'm too fucking tired all the time. How am I supposed to take care of a kid?
90% of our fucking generation, man. You're not special there.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be special.
I love that our generation's like, you know what? We're the one that's gonna break in, and Gen Z's over here like, I just long for the trad wife. I'm like, no, don't you fucking ruin it.
The trad wife? Who's longing for the trad wife?
Gen Z.
Are they really?
The more conservative side of TikTok is longing for it, and I'm like, how did I get over here? First of all,
it's so depressing to me that like there was a period of time where I really felt like I was like, oh man, we're the younger generation's getting more and more progressive. We could really turn things around, and then like the Andrew Tates of the world, they sucked a bunch of them back. I'm so sad about it.
We just need to kill Andrew Tate. That's all.
You said it, not me. All right. I don't. What's the word I'm looking for here? I don't advocate for the killing of anyone. On any sort of podcast that I would be on. And with
I
that,
feel like if you human traffic kids, you should probably die. I don't think
I
I'm alone on that
did
one.
he human traffic kids? I thought it was.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I knew that he human trafficked. He was running like a weird thing where like he would like guilt trip
He was
women into
bringing
like
them in as young as 16, dude.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's go kill him. Let's. You know what? Let's just let the what is it? Romania. Let's just let the legal system of Romania kill him. You know, I'm sure that they probably got the electric chair over there, right?
I think they do the bamboo spike torture. I'm not entirely sure.
What? I'm gonna send Goku over there. I'm gonna tell Goku that Andrew Tate did
Powerful right up the asshole.
I'm trying. What can I? Andrew Tate beat the allegations, and then Goku's gonna be like, I heard you beat the allegations. Can you beat me? Except he didn't. He did not beat the.
He's dumb enough to be like, wow, that must be pretty powerful. Allegation sounds like a great opponent.
The allegations? Wow. Excellent. Well, that was stupid. Okay, bye.